I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gardner and Charles Davis.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
Green 18.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
It's tough to be an offensive lineman in Green Bay because their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, knows how to keep plays alive and often extends them for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. But David Bakhtiari, his left tackle, he does it as well as anyone could ever expect. Excellent footwork, knows that the plays are going to stay alive for a long time. Often will get 2 or 3 blocks on the same play.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. It's caught here by Adams. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 16. Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Well, look now at our starting defense. They are the 22nd ranked unit against the run in the NFL.
And the focus now is making sure that they're hitting on all cylinders as they head into the playoffs. And that means they've got to stop the run better. Because playoff football often means running football. So they've got to be prepared for that.
Stafford on 3rd down. Caught. It's Huff. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. They are going to go for it. It's Stafford. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And that will force a turnover on downs.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And they have secured that spot in the playoffs, clinching the NFC North division. In fact, so for the moment, they'd be hosting a wild card game in round 1.
And that's cause for celebration because anytime you're in the playoffs, you're happy. But the idea that you're in the playoffs and you're hosting the first game you have to play, that's a big-time lift for that team and for the organization because everything's familiar. You're at home. Your routine stays the same. You don't have to go on the road and change things up.
Get a win, get some momentum, see what happens in round 2.
And we've seen it happen before. A wild card victor in the first round, they often propel themselves towards the Super Bowl.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Jair Alexander that time able to knock that one away.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. James has got it, complete. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We're scoreless after one. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. On 2nd and 9, Stafford caught here by Conley. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 38-yard line.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
40 got.
They'll run on first down. Vance. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the 16, Stafford forced out to his left. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Escaping the pressure. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Matthew Stafford. Touchdown number 15 of the year. As his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, Charles, you said it after the 4th down stop. That's almost guaranteed points the other way, and that comes to fruition with the touchdown.
Well, the unnecessary risk did come back to haunt them, didn't it? End up getting those points that I predicted that they were going to give up because it's guaranteed points if you don't make that play.
No problem there on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, standing just about on his own goal line. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Taking it about the 16. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt, and the Lions will take over. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Set! 180!
From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Rodgers going to throw. He's got Adams on the hook up. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. To throw, it's Rodgers. Making the catch is Sternberger. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing.
We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And it's the Colts on top as that one approaches halftime. T.Y. Hilton, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are
We now proceed to the start of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. On second down now, Vance. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold.
22. Hey, box truck.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. From the 22, Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. He belted that thing, a leg of steel, and an even 70 yards on the punt that time. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Stafford. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
53. Ready.
On 3rd down, Vance.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
We go set. 280. Check. Watch 54. You don't want nothing.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. He's got the hook up with Conley. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And an Allen, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, and the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
On 2nd down, it's Parsons. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
On 1st down, Parsons. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
They begin the drive with Johnson. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5.
Check it out. Check. White.
They'll keep it on the ground. Vance. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball. You hate to get the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead, but that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Pressure comes, but it doesn't prevent him from getting off a good one here. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here come the Lions now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now a give, right side. Vance, he won't go down. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. A run on first down, but it's not going to get them much, maybe a yard, and that's all. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Stafford. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he's going to be about a yard or two short of the first here. He needed the 35, but didn't make it. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, this from 53. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
So now Rodgers in the pack, trailing 10-3, just over 1:40 to play. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on first down. He'll have a first down past the 40, and he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. They've got to continue to move quickly.
And that's incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw is made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 30. They'll look to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That one goes for 24 yards. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. This will be caught at about the 5. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. The line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Well, no doubt an electrifying finish to have it down inside the 10-yard line. That final shot, though, they couldn't get it in the end zone, and that's all she wrote.
And they had the final shot. The last snap taken that close to the end zone. They don't get it in, so they'll regret that, but flip it over. Making a stand in that portion of the field, congratulations to them.
So for the Lions, a final win here means they'll finish off the regular season at a solid 13-3. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, this might wind up being a tough pill to swallow as they're going to finish the season at 9-7. And it's going to be finger-crossing time as we await the final shakedown of this year's playoff picture. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.